Hi everyone, this is Sharon. Today I am here to share with you my latest design team project for Christy at Everlasting Journals. This project is a continuation of my Diaries of Grace Wiley series. So this month I am presenting you with volume 3 and 4. So I will flip through both of these today. So I'll start with this one. For this series, I am using a number of antique school books, readers, and math books. And I'm going to untie. I just have them loosely tied with some cotton fabric. And then I tucked in the front just some vintage postcards. And this, as you can see, this one's pretty faded, but it's got this beautiful mossy green cover. It's an English course book. And these, again, similar to volume 1 and 2, I use the twine method for my binding. And for my covers, I lined the front and back with some antique embroidered linens. And I will list down in my description all of the kits that I use of Christie's. There were about 3 main kits I used for the pages and 3 of her newer kits that I used for the ephemera. So if we start with this first page, this beautiful floral, and I just embellished with some fabric and lace at the bottom. Here I've got a top tuck, and in there I've got this antique French letter, and that's a pretty old one, looks like 1820 something. Just some gorgeous handwriting on there. I can't tell. It almost looks like 1806 in the corner, but it looks like it is postmarked 1820 or something like that. And then I created this journal card and just created a little tuck in there and have this beautiful image. And then a place to write on the back. Here's the title page of this book that I used. It's from 1901. And then on this page, I've clipped little journaling spot with these kittens and this little girl with her kitten. For this little cameo, I just attached it with some vintage fabric. And then on the inside, I lined it with this French book page. And then I've just got a little writing sheet from some ledger paper that I tucked in there. This is a page from a botanical book, just embellished with some fabric. And then here for my page, I used a vintage envelope. And I just added some pressed flowers on the back. And then in there, I tucked this journaling card that I made, added a little bit of string to the top, some of Christy's gorgeous images, and then I just embellished with a little bit of book page on there. Some of my coffee dyed paper. And then here I added this tag. Created a little pocket. In both of these journals, I used quite a bit of Christie's Kit 31. It's got these background wallpaper images, and they just make really nice backdrops. Here I used it as a pocket, and then I did some stenciling on there, and then just added this vintage French piece in there. Here I created a belly band with some sari trim, and then I've got a couple of pieces of ephemera in here. This is an old New Zealand newspaper from the 1800s. And then on this page, I added some stamps to the top and then created this little journaling spot. Christy has a new label kit. I think it's her kit 39. It's my new favorite. She's just got some beautiful labels in that kit, and so I've scattered them throughout both journals. Here I just created a page with this antique postcard. And then here, this is actually one of the labels. She's got some really decorative ones. I created a pocket with this vintage map, and then stamped across the top there. And then in there, I've got this little item, kind of a little folio with a corner pocket, and I just stuck this in there for a little journaling spot. And then I've got this vintage fabric flip in there too. And then I also created this journaling card. On this side of the pocket, again, I've got one of her labels. And then in there, I've tucked this page from a butterfly book. And then I created this little item. I don't know what to call it, but I cinched it up with this little kind of a belt on there. And then some of her beautiful images, and then inside here just a lot of room for journaling. And this is some piano paper that I lined it with. One of Christy's beautiful wallpaper images. And I just did a little bit of slow stitching along the edge there. Got this beautiful old piece of lace for my pocket. Did a little bit of embellishing with some antique wallpaper and a paper button. And then in there I've got this small tag. Here I created a page with this French embroidery book page. And I just added this embossed piece of velvet on there to trim it up a little bit. And then I've got some antique book pages from a poem book. And actually it's poems, but it was in the Ladies Monthly Museum. This isn't really old book that I have. It's from the early 1800s, like 1803 or something like that. And then from the spines, I created these bookmarks. This is the one from this book. Here I created a top tuck with some handmade paper that I embossed. And then added one of Christy's labels on there. And then I just tucked this old piece of wallpaper in there. And there's room to write. This is some avocado dyed paper. And then in there I've got this little journaling piece. And actually, I guess it's not really a journaling piece, it's a sampler. So in here I added a bunch of antique and vintage fabrics. And then I've got a laundry label, some of Christy's labels in there. I lined it with an old dictionary page. I think those are just fun. So something like this, I would just maybe take a, either add ephemera in there or a piece of paper that I've written on and just tuck that in there for something fun. On this page, I did some stenciling with paste. And then here I embellished this page with a piece of lace. Here I created this internal side tuck and show you the back of that, pretty image. And then in there I tucked this page from a cookbook. And then I also created this little booklet. This is from one of Christy's kits. And then I lined it with one of those wallpaper images and then just added a little bit of journaling space in here. So these actually flip up. And then there's also a little side tuck in there as well. Here on this page, this is an item you may have seen before. I did a tutorial on this, and I'll list that tutorial down below in the description as well. It's just like a little folio type thing with pockets. So in here I created these prayer cards and just tuck those in the pockets. And then I just created this little paper clasp on there. This is what the back looks like. Some lace on there. And then to this clip, I just added a vintage button. And then on this last page, I clipped another little, piece that I made. This is from Christy's label kit, and then I just backed that with some vintage French fabric. And this is the inside cover. So that's that one. And then the second one has some oranges and reds in it, so I use this floral fabric. And I just wrapped it around and tied it in a knot. I didn't do a bow or anything on it. So again, I have a couple of antique postcards. And then this is a Harper's Fourth Reader. And I don't think I mentioned it on the other one, but I sandwiched some old book page in between the linen on the inside and the outside, just to give it kind of a little bit more of a tattered look. And then here on this page, this is from the book, I added some stenciling on the top. Here I created a pocket with this vellum decorative piece, added a little bit of washi tape, that's Lace Boutique 1, and then added this little tag in there. So this background is from that wallpaper kit of Christy's, and then this is one of her labels. I just sandwiched some cheesecloth in there. On the back side, I added some craft paper. On this page, I embellished with the wax seal and a little bit of sari ribbon. Here I created this fabric belly band with some ticking fabric. And then there's this beautiful floral background on there. And in there, I've tucked this antique postcard. And then this little booklet. And inside, I just added a belly band across the whole inside. I backed that with some antique dictionary page. And then I also have these pieces of vintage wallpaper in here. So this one's loose, can be used for anything. Here's an old book page. And then this one, I just stitched one of Christy's labels onto this piece of wallpaper. But you can still write on the back side. And then this is some wallpaper from one of Christy's kits. Here I've got this vintage piece of French notebook that I just used as kind of a flip on this page. And then here's piano paper. And then I folded this over to create a little tuck. And in there I've got a couple of little tags. Here on this page, I've clipped on this little booklet that I made. Some beautiful images on there. I lined it with one of Christy's papers, and then I just added a book page, some wax paper, and then some writing room on the inside. I love this kitten page. On this page, I created a top tuck, and then in there, I've got this vintage check from 1925. And then I added this tag that I made, just just did a little stenciling on the back side. This is straw paper. Here I created this top tuck. This, I believe, was a dust jacket from a book that I had on birds. And then in there, I've got this little journaling piece. This is what the image looks like. And then I just added this little piece of lace on the inside and lined it with this avocado dyed paper. And then I added a piece of shorthand. Here I created this page with this beautiful linen, embroidered linen. I love the edging on there. And then this page is from a really neat music book. And all the pages were kind of bound in with this kind of brass strip on there. It's got the little holes in there yet, and I just left that on there. And then this one also has a vintage button on the clip. And then I've got another one of those little folios that I made. This one has a strap that comes open. That's what the back looks like. And then in this one, I've got a couple of pockets with embossed paper and just some small journaling cards in there. Again, these three are all from that label kit of Christy's. Here I created a corner tuck with one of her labels. And then in there I've got this piece placed to right on the back. And then this beautiful image on the front, lady and her dogs. I love this floral image. Here I've got a pocket on the bottom. And then in there I've got this page from a botanical book. And then I created this tag. Here I glued this onion skin letter from 1900 onto the page so you can use it as a place to tuck things. This is the bookmark that I made from the spine of this book. Some avocado dyed paper. And then I just punched the edge of that and then backed it with this image from one of Christy's kits. And then here I made a pocket and embellished a little bit on the bottom. And then in there I've got this little booklet, tied it up with this piece of chiffon ribbon. And that just runs through a little eyelet that I put on this flap. And this is another one of those sampler pieces. So here I just took some rusty pins to clip a couple pieces together, added some of Christy's labels in here. This is a sample stamp, and then kind of lined it with some of her papers underneath. Here on this page I have this pretty sheer fabric for a flip. And then here I took some velvet ribbon and created a double belly band. And then just slipped a couple of things in there. It's got this beautiful wallpaper background. And then I've got this very delicate piece of antique French wallpaper. And then I just created this little kind of a holder from a piece of old book page. And then this is a new washi tape roll that I got from Anna at Lace Boutique 1. It just came in the mail and I just had to stick it on something. I think it's so pretty. And I just put that along there and then added a couple of little journaling spots. Added some floral stickers on the back. And that brings us to our last page. Here I just added some decorative sari trim on the top. And then that's the back of that one. So that is my April project for Christy. I hope you enjoyed that. I will have both of these for sale in my Etsy shop. If you're interested, you can check that out. I'll put the links below. Thank you so much for watching and coming along with me today. I appreciate it. And until next time, bye-bye.